All right, today we'll be adjusting the chain on the Polaris ATV, and this is obviously a rear chain drive machine. We've got a solid rear axle, so it's going to be a lot of the Explorers, the Trail Bosses, a couple of the Express models, anything chain drive on the Polaris four-wheeler is going to have this similar setup. So we've got our receiver ball here. We've got our chain adjusting drum here, rear shock up here. We've got a swing arm here, and then again, like I said, a solid axle running through there. We've got a greaser here that you want to make sure and lubricate, and I like to do that often because that, if you're riding in any kind of debris at all, will wear out these bearings in here, and those seals too will be destroyed. So you want to make sure that you grease that cert. Kind of an easy thing to do there. It's right on top typically and easy to get to. Just make sure you get that done. Also lubricate your chain. As you see here, this customer, that wasn't a big priority for them. We've got a chain that's destroyed now. We're actually replacing this chain. Sprockets are in great condition, but we like to replace them both at the same time, and I'll walk through that video as well. Right now we're just going to be adjusting the chain. We've loosened a nut on the bottom here. This is a clamp nut or a clamp bolt here. So we've got a nut here, and then bolts on top. So you like to use a 5/8 wrench up top here and a 11/16 socket or wrench on the bottom here to loosen those up. Simply all you got to do is loosen those up in order to release the clamp that's right here on this swing arm. So once you get that loosened up, I like to use a big channel lock pliers to adjust the chain. What I don't like to use is a hammer and a chisel. A lot of people think that these 2 points right here, those are actually stoppers, and they'll actually stop on the swing arm here, and that's when you know that your chain is completely adjusted. Same thing on the bottom side there. So you want to make sure that you're not using those points there to use a hammer and chisel on, or you'll break those off, and that drum in there will be able to spin around freely. So to adjust your chain on this model, you want to take and you actually want to turn it depending on what side you're on, but if you're on the left-hand side of the four-wheeler, which some people would call that the driver's side, you want to take and you want to pull that drum counterclockwise. So if you can watch my channel locks there, you want to turn it that way to adjust your chain, to tighten it up. If you're going to loosen it, typically you don't have to do that except for when you're replacing your chain. You want to take and turn it the other direction. So get your channel locks in there. Like to make sure you have a good firm hold on that when you're starting to adjust that. Otherwise, you take your channel locks and turn them on here, just destroy your drum there. So Polaris probably makes this, well, they do make a tool that I believe sticks in here, and you can do that. What I've seen so many times before, though, people will use too small of a screwdriver or something in there, and we'll take and turn that, and we'll break these points off here. So just be careful of that. That's why I like to use the channel locks. A lot of times, if it's a clean four-wheeler, a nice four-wheeler, take and put a rag over top of this drum here so you're not leaving any kind of marks. Typically, a four-wheeler like this, you can see how they've treated the chain. They're not going to mind 2 plier marks, one on one side, one on the other. So keep that in mind when you're adjusting that drum. There is a tool for it. Again, goes in here, and I believe same thing on the other side. It's harder to get to with this sprocket. So channel locks will work just fine. Just be careful you got a good firm grip on it. You want to make sure your chain is adjusted properly, or you're going to destroy that chain and sprockets a lot quicker. So if you've got questions or you found this video helpful, make sure and leave that comments below. If you've liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I've got hundreds of other videos on the Polaris ATV four-wheeler. Check those out. Hopefully you find those helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.